we're going to look, let's see, we want to look at a project. We're going to look at a project that for FEMA. What did we say? Snowstorm. Okay. Well, let me see your snowstorm now. Well, it's right there. Snowstorm, yeah. And that's not the one that's. Let's do this one. This one we do know that. Okay. When you open when you are putting your time and attaching it to a project, when you come to the project, you go to labor information. It'll show you everyone that you have attached to that project. You can do a labor report. We'll do this. Oh, sure do. And it is. I should have done that. Okay, 8. Oh, 1, 0. This will list everyone that worked on this project. If you put their hourly time on their timesheet, it will calculate what hours they worked and how much overtime that they had. We don't have an overtime in there, but it should have. And calculate this all out for all of the men that worked on that project. Then you can do your equipment report for the same time. And it'll do a report, and on the fixed asset there is a place to put the FEMA rate, so it will calculate those rates against the hours that were used. It'll show the equipment used, who ran it, how many hours they ran it, and what that calculation is for each employee. Yes?
Power supply on to show you a low battery. I don't know if that's on.
Oh.
The switch down there, it's not, I don't see it lit up, and I just wondered if it was on. Because it was showing a while ago you had a low battery.
Nope, that was the one.
For the projector.
Oh.
I should plug it in this morning.
I shouldn't have done that.
Couldn't lose your power.
I did. I
Plug
messed
that in
up.
the back.
Shouldn't have done that. Okay.
That'll take care of the computer.
Now.
Well, it's got to cool down.
It'll have to cool down. Okay. How many of you have been using the timesheets with your projects for your FEMA? Good. Good. Question? Comment?
Yeah.
Sure.
On the timesheet, and whenever you put in the piece of equipment
Yes.
for your FEMA project, the big truck is one FEMA rate, but it also has a trailer, a belly dump trailer that is an added rate.
Yes.
Does anybody have a suggestion?
Do you have it all on one fixed asset?
Yeah, well, you're putting in your timesheet, you're gonna add that guy at that truck.
Right.
With 8 hours.
Oh,
See, so-
okay.
So also you need an entry for that trailer.
For 8 hours also, but that gives him 16 hours.
I had before put in on the time sheet just made a blank, but nobody put the name, but put the trailer and attached to, with the time attached to the project.
Right.
But is there a better way?
No, that is the way.
I think that would,
That also could be used in the instance, we had one county that said they had several dump trucks running and they had a loader that they were using, but the loader didn't have a designated driver.
Right.
Whoever was brought their truck in, brought in, parked their truck, jumped out, got in the loader, loaded their truck up, got out, got back in their truck and drove it on. So the loader was used all day, but it didn't have a designated operator. And so they just put it in without the operator. That piece of equipment, that project, however many hours was used.
Okay, so.
that answer your question? Okay. Okay. Your project inventory will run the material. So you will have 3 different reports for a FEMA report or for any. And this is not just for FEMA. If you're wanting to track what you've spent on any project, these 3 reports added together will tell you to the penny what you've spent on that project. Any other questions?
You got that report from this screen, project inventory?
Yes, from project, well actually I went into the project and do project inventory and then just put in the date. And that'll give you a list and total of what materials have been added to that project.
Out of that particular screen at project inventory at the bottom. Then you can enter your dates and run for anything that you have used, anything that you did between those dates, regardless of what project was put on. They'll run a page for every project that you worked on during that period of time.
And just leave project blank.
You can leave project blank, or if you want to run just a specific, something that starts with a specific name, you could put that name in there too. But you could run it for all of them by leaving project blank, and it'll pull everything you worked on or everything you used material for.
And for this particular day, there was 4 different projects worked on. You can do a project list. And once you finish a project, if you want to put it on an inactive list, you can put in your start date and completion date, or you can change, there's an inactive that you can change to Y and put it on an inactive list.
The date completed is actually used in most places to determine if it's an active one.
Okay. And the only reason I mentioned the other is because I had one county that they were old before she came, and she didn't know what the completion date was. Uh-huh.
Learn something new every day.
But the completion date will get it off of your active list.
And then can you go back and view the inactive?
Yes, you sure can. Once you put them on an inactive list, you can look at them right here. There's an inactive list right there, and that'll just show you you're inactive. You can look at all, or if you have bridges versus projects, you can look at your bridges by themselves. If you track your signs in CalPro, you can look at signs.